Hello guys, so we're going to be talking on word problems that pertain to translating phrases. So this is problem set number 32. On the board I have written your geo. It's number 127, 29, and 30, okay? So you do not have to do those. Alright, into the lesson. We're going to do example 32.1. Alright, and it says, let me see if I can adjust here a little bit. Okay, so it says, the sum of twice a number and 13 is 75. Find the number. So we've been doing translating phrases, so this is not new. It's just practicing it and putting it in word problems. So I'm going to do a couple of the examples and hopefully help you guys out. First, we see that it wants the sum of something. So we know that we're going to start with the word sum, means adding two things, okay? What are we adding? We're adding the sum of twice a number. Well, twice a number means multiply. So here's my first addend. The sum of twice a number and 13. So 13 is the second addend. And it says is, which we know is equals 75. Find the number. Now you actually have to solve these problems. In the previous problem sets, it just said to write the expression. Here you're actually going to solve. So then you would say minus 13. Let me take off that because it looks like division. So minus 13, and you have 62. 2n equals, divide by 2, so n equals 31. So you see that your solution is 31. Now in order to know if you did it right, all you have to do is take 31 and plug it in. 2 times 31 is 62. 62 plus 13 indeed equals 65. So you know it was solved correctly. Alright, let's go to the next example. It says find a number such that 13 less than. Okay, anytime we hear the phrase 13 less than or more than, you all need to remember that those are backwards. So think of it this way. If you have $10 less than me, or let's say Caleb has $10 more than Maya. Let's say Maya has 20 and he has 10 less than her. Well, you're not going to say 10 minus 20. You're going to say 20 minus 10. You're going to take the 10 away from the 20. And it's the same logic when you see the phrase less than and more than. So it says find the number that is 13 less than. So less than means that we know that we're going to be subtracting. This is 32.2. So we're going to subtract two things. What are we subtracting? We're subtracting 13 from something. 13 less than twice the number. Twice the number again means 2n. Let's see, I missed my spot here. 13 less than twice the number, and then it says is 137. So this is how you would write it. Some of you are doing this when you write these, and it's awkward because it looks like you have an x and an n. We don't want to do that. We simply want to attach the variable to the coefficient, and we write it nice and neat. Then we're going to add the 13. Again, remember you have to solve these, so minus 13, so that's 124. Bring your 2n over, divide it by 2, so your n equals 62. And you can check it. 2 times 62 is 134. 134 minus 13 is not 137, so I had to have done something wrong. Let's see, what did I do? Let's see, 2n minus 13 plus 13. Did I write that wrong? Oh, yes. See, that's why I'm checking it is important. See, by me quickly checking, I realized it didn't match. So what I did wrong was over here. I added 13, but I subtracted here. So I'm going to go and fix that. Guys, if half the time you would just check your work, you'd see that a lot of the mistakes you make are simple like this, okay? So plus 13 instead of subtracting, and I'm going to end up with 150, okay, equals 2n, divide by 2, and n equals 75. Now let me plug it in. 75 times 2 is 150. 150 minus 13, yes, that checks. It's 137, so I know I did it right. Okay, the next one is an awkward one, and this is kind of where you guys are having a little bit of a hard time. So the example is 32.3, okay? Example 32.3 says, find a number such that 5 times the number is decreased by 14 and the result is twice the opposite of the number. That sounds like a real big mess, okay? So find the number such that 5 times the number. Let's start there. Well, I'm going to multiply. Let me move my board here. I'm going to take 5 times the number, okay? And then it says is decreased by 14. So what's being decreased? Is the 14 being decreased or the 5n being decreased? Okay, it says 5n is decreased by. So that means this is being decreased by here, not the other way around. If I were to write it this way, then I'm saying 14 is being decreased by 5n. Okay, so I have to read it right. 5n decreased by 14. Okay, and it says the result, that means equals, twice the opposite of the number. Well, we know that twice a number means 2n. So simply put opposite that way. Some of you are doing twice the opposite of the number like this, and you end up with a subtraction. Some of you put a parenthesis, but again, that's awkward because you should recall that this has a 1, and 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So it's really awkward to write it all of these different ways. Basically, you write twice n, and then you put negative out here showing the opposite. You want to combine your like terms. Now, since this has a number and a variable, I'm going to move the 5n to the right side. It wouldn't make any sense to move the 2 on the left because then everything would be on the left side. That wouldn't make sense. So I'm going to say 5n minus 5n, negative 7n equals negative 14. Divide by negative 7, divide by negative 7. Negative and a negative is a positive, so 2 equals n. Now let's quickly check it. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus 14 would be negative 4. Negative 2 times 2 would be negative 4. So yes, it would check out. Again, guys, take your answer and plug it into the equation. If it doesn't check out, then you did something wrong. Okay? All right. Let's see. The last one is find the number which decreased by 18 equals 5 times the opposite. Okay, so 32.4. A number decreased by 18. So the number is being decreased by 18. And it equals 5 times the opposite. Okay, 5 times the opposite. So again, you could do 5 negative n like that, but that's just weird and awkward, and you don't want to do that. Put a coefficient, subtract your coefficient. So you have negative 18 equals negative 6n. Divide by negative 6, divide by negative 6, and you get 3 equals n. Plug it in. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 minus 18 is minus 15. Minus 5 times 3, minus 15. And they check out. So you know you did it right. All right, guys. I don't think I need to do the last one. I think that is sufficient. So that's it for this lesson. Again, pay attention. Your geo is 1, 27, 29, and 30. See you later.